Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Disclaimer, this video contains swear words censored. We will pause the video and say something if needed. Check out the original channel, link in the description. We are reacting to case 1 for this video. Our next reaction will be case 2, and after that will be case 3. Anyways, grab your snacks and drink. Enjoy!
I'm investigating 3 of the darkest unsolved missing people cases. Like a YouTuber who entered a cave and never returned, and a child who was lost in a swamp, but when returned to his family, turned out to be something much creepier. First, we're investigating the Yuba County 5. In this forest right behind me, 5 friends completely disappeared.
Well, we gotta watch the video, KL, to actually know what happened to them.
Their bones are later found completely scattered in random locations unexplainably, and one of the friends is never found. This is one of the darkest cases ever recorded, and we're about to trace their exact steps to figure out what happened. The case starts February 24th, 1970.
Maybe this case might be forgotten, KL, but I am not too sure about that at all.
When 5 friends, Jackie Hewitt, Bill Sterling, Ted Weher, Jack Madrugo, and Gary Mathias all drive to a basketball game that happens right behind me. There's one important thing to mention, and that these boys that everybody called them weren't exactly boys. They ranged from Jack, the youngest, who was 24, to Ted, who was the oldest, at 32. People called them boys because they all had intellectual disability. Basketball, that's how they all met each other. They even had a game early the next morning that they all could not stop talking about. They even had laid their jerseys out, cleaned their shoes, getting ready for this game. But they would never make it home, instead experiencing a death darker than anyone. They would never make it home, instead experiencing a death darker than anyone could imagine. On the way home, the boys decided to get some snacks, and they all drive just 6 minutes over here to Bears Market. Investigators found that the boys purchased a couple of Pepsis, candy bars, and one of them bought a gallon of milk. And the
Bro buys a gallon of milk but forgot about the cereal. Now we just gotta drink a gallon of milk.
cashier here is the last person to ever witness any of the 5 boys alive. From this point on, the boys were eager to get back home to a basketball game they had the next morning. However, for some unexplainable reason, the boys instead drove 70 miles in the wrong direction, towards the snowy mountains of Plumas National Forest. So Manus and I took the exact same detour.
Isn't this like kind of freaky? This is like the same path that they were taking 50 years ago and never came back from.
Literally to this day, we have no idea why they were on this road either. I literally have goosebumps right now. That's actually terrifying. It's important to note that the 1969 Mercury Montego the boys were in belonged to Jack Madruga. Friends and family say he was extremely protective of it and the only one in the group who would drive the car. However, investigators believe someone else may have been behind the wheel that night. Actually driving this really puts into perspective like how far out of the way this is.
Dude, they're like supposed to be on the highway right now.
Almost home too. Of the 5 boys, only one of the other had a license. Gary Mathias. Gary was the oldest in the group and had a surprisingly disturbing past. See, while all the other boys had some sort of intellectual disability, Gary had severe schizophrenia. After leaving the army, Gary experienced hallucinations and paranoia. Years before the case, he assaulted a man and served time in a state hospital and jail. By 1978, when the disappearance occurred, Gary had been on meds for schizophrenia and had been functioning normally, but some believe he had a hand to play in the disappearance and could have been the one driving the group down the forest road that night, the very road we were coming upon.
This is... Oh, you're kidding me.
Okay, let's hop out real quick.
This is crazy, bro. Can't believe we're on footing this.
No motorized access. That means they 100% put this here after what happened, because they obviously drove up this road.
The paved road continues this way. You have to take an offshoot to come up here.
Every turnoff, they were like, what is the worst possible way we could go? And they went that way. Like they had to be running from something. This is so wild. 5 people lost right up this road because they kept going too far. I think we should go up this road.
God, damn it.
Even more now is not adding up. No scratches, not even mud on their car.
How is that even possible, dude? They had a low car with well over 600 pounds in there.
A puzzling detail about Madruga's car was that when it was found abandoned, police described it as being in immaculate condition. No damage, no scratches. It was almost as if it had not been driven up a busted road, but instead simply placed in the forest. Not only was there no scratches on the car, there was no mud, and I'm understanding why that was so crazy.
This is all mud.
Oh, that is fresh dookie. Why are you playing with the dookie, man?
This was a predator. That's fur in the poop.
Are you being for real?
Yeah.
Bro knows his
Us three combined, you know, we could scare off a coyote.
What about a bear?
Are there bears here? I believe they drove this
Dude, this is not drivable at all. When police discovered the car, it was found that it could easily be pushed out of the snow by 5 large men. But for whatever reason, the boys still abandoned it, with one of them taking the keys. And it was roughly around these exact coordinates where their car got stuck. They would have had to make so many bad wrong turns to get here.
It was 100% purposeful. You cannot get to this spot without trying to get to the spot.
I would say I am 100% sure that this was not an accident that they drove here. And where this all gets bizarre is when police find their car. 1, it has a quarter tank of gas, so they did not run out of gas.
All right, so you're telling me freezing cold outside, they still have a quarter tank of gas left, the car can be pushed to be unstuck, however, they choose to walk out into the dark forest in t-shirts in the snow.
What do you die in the cold if you wear a t-shirt?
And what's so crazy is that not that far from here was another man also with his car stuck. On the very same night, a man named Joseph Shones was driving to his cabin in Plumas National Forest when his car got stuck in the snow. He got out to push it but suffered a heart attack. Shones went back in his car, but this is when he sees in the distance a pair of headlights. In the darkness, he could make out a group of men and a woman holding a baby. He got out of the car and called out to them for help, but strangely, the group turned off their lights and vanished into the night. This would happen once more with Shones seeing flashlights in the distance, but when he called out to them, again, they turned off. Ultimately, Shones' car would run out of gas, and he would hike 8 miles down the road to a mountain lodge where he got medical help. And it was never confirmed if the people he saw that night were the boys or not. One other key thing why the police couldn't track these men down is because the night that they went missing, it snowed again. So all their trails, all their tracks that they left walking away from the car were completely covered.
It is bad as KL.
There was no way to find and trace these steps.
Gavin, I think your fly's open.
Dude, can we CGI that closed?
Dude, no way. Did you just notice that?
Damn, that's like wide open too, huh? Nah, I swear something pulled it down.
You sure about that?
With the disappearance happening in February, rescue teams had to wait for the snow to melt to search for the boys. And there's absolutely no development in this case until 4 months later when a group of motorcyclists ride along this road and stumble across a service trailer. Shockingly, this trailer is 20 miles from where the car was abandoned. That means the boys would have had to hike 20 miles in below freezing temperatures with nothing but t-shirts to get.
Like I said, when you die in the freezing temperatures and you just wear a t-shirt,
here. They notice the service trailer has a broken window, so they get closer and they notice the absolute worst smell imaginable. And this is when they see the body of Ted Weher. There's sheets over his head that are tucked all around him, almost looking like somebody else did it. It wasn't just him pulling over his sheets. Then, once they take the sheets off, he looks entirely different. He lost over 100 pounds.
He starved to death.
Which is really weird because they found 31 cans of opened food.
my question is, if there was a bunch of cans of food, then why did he not eat it and just instead just starve to death in a single night?
And when they looked outside, there was another locker stocked full of food that would have lasted all 5 of the boys at least a year.
Dude, everything you say just makes this case even more and more confusing.
There's a few other things too. His shoes were missing, along with his toes.
Now, who the actual idea to steal bro's toes in that night?
I think I know who did it.
Who?
Talking about missing toes.
No.
There's only one man out here who would steal some toes.
What do you mean by that?
You sure about that?
This has the police stumped. They don't know what's going on. But there's one thing there that doesn't belong at all.
Someone else's toes.
Yeah, there's actually a whole foot.
Get out.
I'm just kidding. There's a broken watch. They find out that it wasn't Ted's, it wasn't Jackie's, it wasn't Jack's, it wasn't Will's, and it wasn't Gary's. It was none of these boys' watch.
Oh, was it the heart attack guy's watch?
Oh, damn, I bet they didn't ever ask him.
Why didn't they ask him?
That would have been crazy. They had his watch. That would have been actually horrifying. There's no way we know. The guy who had a heart attack, I'm gonna say right now, for me personally, he's sus.
He's sus, bro.
I think he's an imposter and we should vote him out.
His story just does not add up to me.
He saw a group of 4 people, plus he claims a woman and a baby. So if he is telling the truth and didn't hallucinate, that could have been enough.
Could have been the baby's watch.
Later, when the snow had finally melted and they were able to safely track back from the service trailer to where the boys' cars had gone missing, is when they found 2 more bodies. And these 2 bodies they find are Bill and Jack. At this point, they're mostly just bones.
Probably eaten by animals, just decayed from the environment.
But there's still 2 people missing, and that's Jackie and Gary. Eventually, Jackie's dad is walking down the trail, searching as much as he can, and he sees Jackie's jacket.
Oh, nah.
This description, like, actually makes me sick to say, but he just sees his coat, he opens it up, and Jackie's spine falls out.
Oh, dude,
His
that's
own
brutal.
dad found it. I, like, can't imagine a more gut-wrenching feeling.
Now, we know that they only found 4 bodies.
They did not ever find Gary.
The schizo.
Yeah.
Like, how bad are we talking? How schizo?
It was severe schizophrenia. There's one account of Gary breaking into a couple's bedroom, and when they asked him what he was doing, he said he was trying to return a ring to Satan.
Oh, hell no.
There's another account where he walked from Portland here,
Portland, Oregon to here.
and he was surviving off dog food, just off random people's houses, and milk. Like the milk from earlier. Dude, he definitely was the one that got the milk.
He had to be. Maybe that's like an early sign of him in a schizophrenic episode. He just like...
Buying milk?
Yeah, well, he just like
I
needs
like milk.
Yeah, but like, are you ripping out the milk when you're hanging out with the boys at a basketball game? I'm personally not.
You know, I feel like that's kind of aura, though.
It's either aura or schizo.
Yeah, or schizo.
It's like either one.
Thin line right there. Thin line.
We're leaning on schizo here.
But we're bringing this all up for a reason. Apparently, even the families of the boys were sus by him.
Yeah, I would be sus if my kid was hanging out with like an actual schizophrenic human being who has had like satanic experiences.
He had been on this medication, but the problem is that people think he didn't take the medication the day before the game because of the side effects he would have gotten, which I don't really know what the side effects are for.
It's probably pretty intense.
Probably is. It's probably brutal to take. And then obviously, he didn't bring any extra medication with him. They planned on being back the night they went missing. So the longer they were stranded out here, the more intense his psychosis. He was probably, I would say, pretty likely to have an episode like he used to have.
I mean, dude, you're out there 2-3 months. It would probably drive a normal person crazy.
And he was the only other one with a driver's license. So he could have even been driving the car up there himself.
There's a ton of theories on this case. It could be that Gary hadn't taken his medication that day, and in a schizophrenic episode, taken the boys up the mountain road. From there, they went separate ways, resulting in Gary's body never being found.
It's possible that his bones are somewhere nearby, somewhere near us right now.
Behind that sign. Just make sure.
No,
All right.
not there.
Okay. It's worth a check.
With so many unanswered questions about the Yuba County 5, the next case we investigated would lead to a shocking discovery on camera. This might be one of the most unexplainable things I've ever captured.
Thanks for watching. Type your theories in the comments and what you think happened in this case.